nice day. What were you thinking? You summit, you get all the way to the top, you're at the top of the spire, and you've done it. Like, what was the first thing that flashed into your mind?
I was like, what a view, it's incredible. I was like, what a beautiful day. It was very windy, so I was like, don't fall off the spire. I was like trying to balance nicely. But no, I was like, what an incredible position, and I mean, what a beautiful way to see Taipei. And it's nice because we've been here all week and it's been gray and rainy, kind of socked in, and today was just so perfect and you could see for miles, super clear. I was like, couldn't be a better time to be on the top of the spire, appreciating the position.
We've talked a little bit about what still motivates you, and that's what the people want to know. They want to know what still motivates you at this point in your career. You clearly have nothing left to prove, to still take on really big objectives that push you outside of your comfort zone.
Well, I think you just said it. I like objectives that are new for me, that are different, that are challenging in some way. I mean, really, I like a reason to stay motivated and to get up early and to train and to do something exciting. So, you know, for me, I mean, a tower like this is so incredible. Like, literally from anywhere in the city, you look up and you're like, that looks amazing. And, you know, particularly as a climate objective, something I've never done before, something that's challenging for me in the right way, I was like, this is incredible.
Can you clear something up for the folks that, you know, are at home going, oh, you know, this was a stunt. Like, they came to him and they were like, hey, will you do this? And can you share with people, A, when Climbing Taipei 101 fell into your purview and why you wanted to jump at this opportunity?
Well, I mean, in general, I like to climb anything that looks cool that I'm allowed to. And so, you know, I first saw Taipei 101 over 10 years ago and was like, wow, that's incredible for climbing. That would be amazing. But at the time, didn't get the opportunity to actually climb it. And you know, at the time, I thought about climbing it without permission, you know, don't tell anybody. You know, but I was kind of like, oh, I know I can do it, and it would be amazing, like, maybe I should. But then out of respect for the building and respect for all the people on the team who had allowed me access to look at it, I was like, well, obviously I'm not going to poach this. Like, I'm going to, you know, respect the people and just see if it ever comes together. And so then for the project to come together more than a decade later, I'm like, oh, it's so great. What an opportunity. It's, yeah, it's such a pleasure.
You know, we've talked about this, right? There's all kinds of colorful adjectives that people that don't know Alex used to describe him. Crazy, adrenaline junkie. What do you think that people don't understand about why Alex free solos?
Well, I think that what people don't understand until they watch is how much fun he's having and just how joyful he is when he's doing it. That it's actually just like, it's almost like a childlike joy of just like, I'm up here and I'm playing, and I think that was the really cool part of today, that we all got to just watch him have a lot of fun, which is great.
If you sort of compare this moment, Alex, to maybe the least glamorous training day that you had in preparation for this climb, which one do you think actually demanded more from you? Was it the training or the reality of it?
That's an interesting question. That's, I mean, I think doing the actual climb probably does demand more, just the pressure around it, the whole experience, but you're right that, I mean, training days, and in some ways I wouldn't even differentiate that much between all the training, because kind of the whole point of having a goal like this is to put in all the training days. I mean, I love the training, I love the whole process, I love all the practice climbs that I do to build up for a big climb like this. You know, basically I just love having a reason to train. And so, you know, I do think the climb itself probably does demand a little more. Like, I mean, I was definitely on my A game, like, performing today, and you can't necessarily bring that to every training session, because sometimes you're just tired or whatever else. But no, I mean, I love the whole process.
Alex comes down, he meets you, Sonny. You guys are about to walk off, and then you're like, oh, should we shout out our daughters? Do you know, Alex, there's a lot being made of, like, you know, you've turned 40 and how you prepared for this, and how, you know, since we maybe checked in with you on Free Solo, you've gotten married and you've had children now. How has having children, how has being a father impacted your decision making and how you approach climbing objectives?
I mean, you know, I spend a lot more time at home, obviously, because I'm with the family. And so I think that means that I'm more selective about projects and just make sure I choose the right projects and choose them for the right reasons. And I think, you know, I mean, having a family hasn't diminished my love of climbing, but I just choose my objectives carefully and then train for them carefully and make sure I execute well. I guess, I mean, it hasn't, you know, having a family doesn't change who I am, doesn't change my passion for what I do.
Sonny, has there been anything that he's floated as a potential climb that you're like, no?
Definitely a few where you're kind of
yeah?
like, that's not sweet.
Yeah, no,
but those
I
are
mean,
more like personal projects normally, like random things around the house and things that I want to just climb in the mountains. I have to say that Taipei 101 is actually an incredibly family-friendly climbing objective, in so much as for most climbs, you go to some far-flung place, you don't have cell service, you're gone for months, you're living in a tent. I mean, here we FaceTime the kids. We'll be home. You know, we fly home tomorrow. I'm kind of like, it's pretty chill in the grand scheme of climate objectives. I mean, compared to going to the greater ranges, like the far-flung mountains of the world, and then being in, you know, living on a glacier in a tent for a month.
Yeah.
Like this is pretty civilized. So, I mean, I think overall this is way less time away from the kids, and I mean, it's kind of a great objective.
There you go. I think the building has their new catchphrase, a very family-friendly climbing objective.
Exactly.
Should anyone want?
No one else but Alex.
Right, exactly. You very famously, after you free soloed El Cap, it was like, so what are you going to do? And you're like, I guess I'm just going to like hit the hangboard a little bit. So now that you've just climbed a building, what you going to do, Alex?
I mean, honestly, I probably will actually do some kind of training either tonight or tomorrow morning because you know, we're going to fly home, and so that's like a bunch of time resting on the plane, and when I get home, I've got a climb that I'd really like to do, and so I've got to be fit.
Everybody's going to ask, like, what's the next, right? You've done this, like, what's next? It's got to go bigger, it's got to go. When you are sort of looking at the landscape and seeing what intrigues you, what's interesting, is it one of those let it come to you things? Do you actively go seek? Like, how do you sort of let that process play out?
No, I let it come to me. I mean, I always have projects around my house. I always have some kind of climb that I'm working on just because I love having a reason to get up and train. I mean, I love working on something. It's like the pleasure of striving, basically. But I think the big objectives, things like Taipei 101, to some extent, you just have to be striving all the time, training, and then let these things kind of happen as they happen. Because, I mean, particularly with Taipei 101, I mean, you can't grasp at it too hard. Like, if it comes together, you know, if a project like this coalesces and the people at the building give permission and everybody, you know, if it happens, it's incredible and it's, you know, small miracle. But you can't try too hard because you just never know when things like this will come together.
I'll end with this question so that we can let you go work out or eat or whatever it is that you want to do. Let's be real. Most people are never going to want to or attempt to free solo a skyscraper. But what do you hope the message or the takeaway from today's experience was for all of the people that watched you do that across the world?
I mean, honestly, I don't really know. I mean, one of the things that I learned, I think, from the film Free Solo over the years was that people kind of take the message that they need from it. I think that people often find the inspiration that they need to pursue their own challenges, their own goals, or, you know, it's often the kick they need to do whatever it is that they want to do in their life. I mean, I don't think anybody watches something like this and they're like, I'm going to go free soloing. But often they'll watch something like this and it's a reminder that their time is finite and they should use it in the best way, the most meaningful way that they can. And so I think, you know, if anything, I hope that that's what people take from it. They're kind of like, oh, if you work really hard at it, you know, you can do hard things if you try, and like maybe I should try.